I was brought up to respect your elders and to respect your neighbours, and that's something that I think the vast majority of students actually do. For those that try to push the line, and there's a very small few of those, the Students' Union is quite clear that it's unacceptable, and we're more than happy to go knocking on the door and say your behaviour is unacceptable, it's not what civilised people do, it's not what young adults should be doing.
Luke Young wants to see students and residents working together to make things better for everyone in the area.
If you believe in community, and if you believe in where you're living, and if you enjoy where you're living and like the area, you should actively be involved in improving it. If you see that there's a problem, get involved and see how you can feed in with your neighbours to clean up a street or to paint those doors and those gates. That is the entire point of community.
I'm Sue, by the way. Sue, yeah, residents.
Residents and students are getting together to find ways to make things better. In this street clean, volunteers collected 800 bags of rubbish. But Swansea isn't alone. University towns all over Britain are facing the same problems. Last year, Irene Mann formed a Swansea Sustainable Communities Initiative to campaign for councils to be given more powers to control the spread of houses in multiple occupation.
The council and the council officers are very often criticised for not doing something about the problem. In fairness, there's nothing they can do about the problem.
At the moment, anyone can turn a house into an HMO without planning permission, as long as no more than 6 people live there. Landlords are supposed to licence their properties and maintain them to set standards, but not all of them do.
I think what has happened is that you've got some property developers who've bought 10, 20, 30 properties, and really you can't administer and manage 30 properties adequately or well.
Sadly, some bad landlords give us all a bad name. The only enforcer in town is the local authority. Again, we promote and encourage all the 22 councils in Wales to enforce the full weight of the law against bad landlords. In Swansea, they have a forum. Some residents, if they're not engaged in that process, might feel excluded, but that's not any intent in that. They can easily come to the party and talk to all those major stakeholders.
But residents say less talk and more action is needed.
We find that when you get one body, they blame A, B or C. And then you meet with another body and you find that they're blaming B, D and E. But if they could get together and make sure that things were done correctly. We have good intentions, they produce beautiful booklets, but we need them to carry out what they're actually saying they are doing or going to do.
Campaigners want to see Wales following England's lead. There, the government is consulting on proposals to make it compulsory for landlords to apply for a change of use of the property.
What we're saying is that the change in use class orders should become legislation, and therefore councils could have some kind of influence over planning.
So far, the Assembly government has ruled out extra legislation. A spokesman said, additional planning regulations are not necessarily the answer. The Welsh Assembly government is closely monitoring the outcome of the consultation exercise and will consider any outcomes if they are relevant to the planning system in Wales. Meanwhile, Swansea University has run out of space at its home in Singleton Park and is considering building a second campus on former industrial land given to it by BP. No final decision has been made, but if plans go ahead, thousands of students will descend on the other side of the city.
The Innovation Campus is designed to fulfil one of our core missions, which is to act as a powerhouse for growth in the regional economy. Our estimate is that over the next 10 years of development, if we're successful in starting that, we will generate something like 11,000 additional jobs in the regional economy, and over 10 years we should have an economic impact in the order of £3 billion.
The university says it will make what it calls adequate provision for student accommodation at the new campus.
Wherever the student life, there are problems associated, whether it be antisocial behaviour, criminality, misbehaviour, whatever form it takes, it'll just be moved from one point A to point B until they get a strong deterrent for it.
So what does the future hold? Well, some residents are worried that it's now too late to save areas like Brynmill from becoming completely swamped.
It's like a creeping cancer that's gone right throughout the uplands and the Brynmill area. And there is no community, or very little community, but we are trying.
I think one day the government will realise we've got too many students anyway, and where are the jobs for people coming out of university with degrees in some things that you can't employ somebody to do. Therefore student numbers will eventually have to diminish. That's what I think. Houses in multiple occupation, they'll follow.
Personally, I have been saying I'm going to move for I don't know how many years now. And each time I start doing things to the house and think, oh, I don't really want to move. I can walk to the beach, I can go on my bike in the prom, I can do all sorts within easy reach. And why should I move?